Well, I got 6 o'clock.
So do I.
Front doors are unlocked? Okay, well. I guess we should call the meeting to order. Somebody should have a resolution to adopt the agenda.
Moved by myself, second by Councillor Atkinson, resolved that the agenda be adopted as presented.
Question, all those in favor? It's carried. Confirmation of the minutes.
Again, moved by myself, second by Councillor Atkinson, resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting in the Committee of the Whole of May 13th, 2019 be hereby approved. All statutory declarations have been complied with.
I'll be abstaining from the vote since I was not doing it.
Okay. Abstained. Question, all those in favor? Opposed?
I will abstain as well. I
You're
guess, because
abstained
I
as
wasn't
well?
there.
2 abstained, okay. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Citizens period. Blake? No. No? All right. Bylaws, first reading, 4594.
Resolution number 2019-091, moved by Councillor Atkinson, seconded by Councillor Lane. Resolved that bylaw number 4594, being a bylaw of the Town of the Paw to amend the Paw traffic bylaw number 2265, be read a first time.
And then we have a public hearing from this? Is that what happens? No?
No, next meeting will be second and third.
Next meeting, second,
And
third.
that's for the gym.
Yeah. All righty, question? All those in favor? It's carried. 6.111, bioremediation service agreement.
Resolution number 2019-092, moved by Councillor Atkinson, seconded by Councillor Lane. Resolved the council authorize the mayor and the assistant CAO to sign a service agreement with Tervita Corporation for biomediation services to be located at the Town of the Paw landfill.
Question, all those in favor? Carried. Uh, 612, Lagoon.
So this resolution is regarding our upgrades that we'll have to do for Lagoon, and considering the amount of money that we put forward to do such a large project, it was Mayor and Council decided to get a second opinion, so we can now have our engineering department go forward with that second opinion. So I'll read the resolution. So moved by myself, second by Councillor Zelinski, whereas the anticipated cost for the Lagoon upgrade is expected to be over 14 million, and whereas Mayor and Council want to ensure the taxpayer dollars are being invested in the most efficient and effective manner possible, therefore Council requests the engineering department to obtain engineering services for a second opinion regarding the proposed Lagoon upgrades. And whereas Council authorized Dillon Consulting to perform a secondary review of the proposed Lagoon upgrades, therefore be resolved that Council accept the secondary review from Dillon Consulting with regards to the Lagoon upgrades, and that the engineering department look further into the suggestions provided by Dillon Consulting.
Any questions? All those in favor? Carried. (613).
And this is just an annual resolution that gets read out for Mayor and Council to decide upon. This is regarding the street sweeping agreement that we have with the infrastructure department for the Manitoba infrastructure. So moved by myself, second by Councillor Zelinski, be resolved that Council authorize the Mayor and Assistant CAO to sign a letter of agreement with Manitoba Infrastructure Engineering and Operations Division Highway Regional Operations for the street sweeping of Highway 10, 285, 289, 283 for the spring, summer of 2019.
Any questions? All those in favor? It's carried. 614.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Lane. Be it resolved that council adopt policy PW-324, accessible parking. Just kind of firms up some of the discussions that we had with regards to accessible parking spots in the downtown area.
Any questions? All those in favor? It's carried. Alrighty. AMM June District Meeting, 641.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Lane. Be it resolved that council approve mayor and council and the CAO to attend the AMM June District Meeting in Flin Flon on June 20th, 2019.
Any questions? All those in favor? It's carried. Payroll and accounts.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Lane. Be it resolved that council authorize the following accounts. Pay period number 9 in the amount of $103,518.68. General check numbers 22856 to 22892 and 22894 to 22913 in the amount of $378,114.66. And EFTs in the amount of $58,148.22.
Any questions? All those in favor? It's carried. 643.
Resolution number 2019-098, general check number 22893 in the amount of $96.04.
I'm assuming one abstain.
Abstain, yes.
Any questions? All those in favor? It's carried. Emergency plan, 644.
Resolution number 2019-099, moved by myself, Councillor Ward, seconded by Councillor Forrester. Whereas in accordance with Section 8(1)(d) of the Emergency Measures Act, every local authority shall prepare and adopt an emergency preparedness programs and emergency plan and submit them to the coordinator for approval in the coordination with the other emergency programs and emergency plans. Therefore, be it resolved, Council adopted the Town of the Paw Emergency Measures Plan as presented for 2019.
Any questions? All those in favor? It's carried. 645.
Resolution number 2019-100, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Zelinski. Resolved that Council approve $100 add in the MBCI 2019 yearbook for $100.
It's kind of interesting, our 100th resolution this year is for $100. Any questions? All those in favor? That's carried. 646.
Resolution number 2019-101, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Ward. Be resolved that Council accept the Public Works Department organizational review prepared by Way to Go Consulting as per discussion during the in-camera portion of the May 13th, 2019 Committee of the Whole meeting.
Just so I'm clear, accepting the report and implementing the report are two different things?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just to accept the report and then, okay.
I also had a question on that as well, so the report's in draft, so does it change from, like, are we accepting a draft report, or does it
Yeah,
report?
you're going to be having a conference call with him, so that will determine if that's going to be your final.
So-
But we're receiving the report by resolution, but it could change
So do we
based.
need to clarify that this resolution, that it's a draft report, or?
Does it say draft report in there, or it just says report?
Just said report.
There's a good chance it won't change, but you could add the word draft. It'll be up to council to decide.
Just curious, that's all, I just want it for procedures.
No, for sure.
So, do you wish to amend it to indicate draft? The fellows who moved it, that would be moved by Larry, seconded by Bill.
Yeah, I guess it should be changed to draft.
Okay. So the council accept the draft Public Works organizational review?
Yep.
Good, everybody's good? Is this, now that we've passed this, or we assume we'll pass this resolution, is this now public domain?
Yeah,
So it can be shared with
yeah.
people?
That's why we passed the resolution to bring it out.
Okay.
Really? Even in
Yeah.
draft form?
And in camera?
Oh,
Pardon me?
it's coming out of in-camera.
It's come out of
Oh,
in camera, that's why it's bringing it out.
So it comes out as it, so,
Comes out as a draft report that is out, and council will still have another meeting to discuss with him.
so we're good,
And if-
okay, then that comes back to another question, and shouldn't we have an actual final report instead of making public a draft report?
If I recall at the last meeting, council wanted this to come out of in
Okay,
camera,
my
that's why we did
apologies,
it.
and I wasn't there for last meeting, so.
Okay. Good. Any other questions? No? All those in favor? Carried. We're down to 7-1, Municipal Services Officer.
Resolution number 2019-102, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Ward. Whereas the province through municipal relations supports the building of healthy and sustainable communities by employing municipal service officers. And whereas municipal service officer provides advisory and consulting services to both elected and non-elected municipal officials on all matters of governance, administration, and operations, including financial. Therefore, be it resolved that Mayor and Council request a municipal service officer to attend the PAW to speak to Council.
Any questions? All those in favor? General business, citizens period. Citizens have anything at this moment in time? No, Blake? All right, committee reports, museum board.
Yeah, we had a meeting on May 14th. Just a couple of things to note here. That the director and the curator will be attending the Association of Manitoba Museum Conference on September 19th to the 21st, so there was a resolution passed there. We started our meeting with our CFO attending the meeting and going over some of the questions we had about finances and having access to our account at the museum's account at Westoba. And I'd like to thank Graham for attending the meeting, and he clarified basically all the questions that we had going forward on that. Just a couple of towards the middle and end of the meeting, we were, like all kind of, I guess, departments like the museum and others were struggle for monies and stuff. We talked that we probably would set up a kind of a side committee just to figure out what exactly our costs are and what the town is actually covering, because some of the board members are feeling that, a lot of the grants are covering off some of the costs that the town should be covering. And I guess I'll be bringing this up again, but maybe some of the things like snow removal, shoveling, and those things could be done by some of the town workers. So to kind of, so they're not huge costs, but they do add up when your budgets are pretty tight. So I'll bring those up again. As well, what else do I have here? I think that was about it. The minutes, everybody's been forwarded the minutes. If you have any questions or whatever, feel free to ask me. And yeah, those were kind of the highlights.
What's the status of the water in the basement?
We didn't talk about it
Oh, I'm
last.
sorry, wrong one, that's
Oh.
library.
Oh, okay.
That's, my apologies. Let's not hold on to this forever. There you go.
News to me.
There you go.
Reading was in the basement.
Hey, and people never listen to me. Chamber of Commerce.
It was, the majority of the meeting was general housekeeping on different meetings that particular board members had attended, but there was a tri-community cleanup that was in partnership with Beatrice Wilson and TPCRC on the weekend, that 2 or 3 full truckloads of garbage was hauled out. Town of the Paw waived the dump fees, which was greatly appreciated. And we would also like to thank the Kinsmen. When everything was all over and done with, they provided a barbecue. So it was great. And there were a lot of donations that were handed out by local businesses and nonprofit organizations, so thank you to them as well.
Great, thank
How
you.
many people were there, Carrie, for the community?
For the community cleanup, I'd say approximately 20. And it was a tri-community cleanup.
Or, sorry.
I should have said, if I didn't say
You did say
it was a
that. Yeah,
tri-community.
yeah, you did say
cleanup.
that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I think 20, 25.
Sustainable Forest, no meeting. Citizens on Patrol,
Meeting next week.
next week. CDC, that is, should now be Mr. Murphy. That's you.
We had an excellent meeting on May 23rd, in my opinion anyways. Well attended, a lot of activity came out of that. We'll have a better detailed report and a better action plan going forward that we'll be able to share with everybody. A couple of the highlights though, Roland Osan was moved into the position as requested. We also had a lot of work talk around housing and how we were going to move that program forward. So it seems to be, looks like we have some good plans, and the CDC does plan on coming and talk to the council in the coming month or so. Also some talk a little about the seniors, talk about commercial land, on what we're planning on doing there. So there's the lead of that group is going to organize that up. Attraction and new business, or attracting new business and retention. Again, talking about meeting up with the Chamber of Commerce, see what work's been done already, and then also have some actions from somebody else that was involved before. And then one thing that they talked about is getting a newsletter out. So our hope is to have a newsletter with all of the leads, putting out an update on where they're at with the priorities that we put forward, which should help bring a little bit more visibility to that. I guess at the end of the day, and Trevor was there as a visitor or a guest as for now, but I believe that the group was very happy with some straight clarity on direction, and I believe that we'll have a very productive committee going forward.
There'll be minutes coming for it?
There would have been minutes already, but Kim has had a family thing to deal with today, so I do have the minutes for the action list, but I wanted to clarify them and clean them up a little bit before we send them out. So we just had the meeting on the 23rd.
Cool, thank you. Destination marketing?
Same sort of deal. We had a meeting. We have a meeting coming up this week to pass our budget, thanks to my friend Trent, to get that going. And other than that, there's really nothing else really going on. We do have another plan to meet again this year or this month to talk about ideas.
Coalition. Smart cities?
Yeah, well, we were down in Ottawa for the unveiling of the winners of the Smart Cities Challenge, and unfortunately, the Tri-community wasn't a winner. Not to say that we didn't have a very good business plan and a very good plan in general, but we didn't win. But there is some other irons in the fire, so there still might be a way to get some grant dollars or some private industry involved in moving the plan forward, so we'll see where things go. There's going to be a tri-council meeting set up so that we can discuss things further, I think, hopefully in the next month or so.
So the smart cities, are we leaving it on the agenda, or are we taking it off now that that project is over?
I have no idea. I don't, it's, that would be,
I think at this point, if there's something more coming, it'll be through tri-council versus
yeah, I
Tri-Cities.
think, yeah.
Because that
like-
was very specific to, here's this program.
Yeah,
Okay.
So we might want to switch it, maybe tri-council in the
Okay,
future.
so then we'll remove smart cities as a committee report?
Probably can, because it's really over.
It's done?
yeah.
Yeah, everybody's good with that? Okay. Recycling board.
We had a good meeting the other night. Hadn't had a meeting for a while. Went through all the financials, everything else. Everything's looking good. There's a few problems in the products. Cardboard has gone down to just about zero in price. And I think Trevor almost beat the record of holding a meeting. I think he was just around the 28 minutes, and the record there was 28 minutes. So good job, Trevor.
There was just one thing to add. I was trying to, I didn't know the deadline was Wednesday, I now know, but I was going to add it on an issue sheet for the committee of the whole. And anyway, we were given the funding agreement proposal from the recycling center, and then there was a couple of 2 or 3 points that our CFO brought to our attention, which were good ones. We brought it back and we had a discussion during the meeting, and you know, we are getting the lion's share of the services, et cetera, from recycling in terms of curb pickup, et cetera. So we felt that the funding agreement should stand as is in terms of a couple of adjustments that were made, that were presented or sent to council, and would like to go forward with that and get the other parties to sign on as soon as possible, especially considering, you know, we're in the works of talking about a regional landfill or not, and we're not sure where things are going. So to wait any longer to sign this, I think would be making a mistake. And I mean, the agreement itself is not a long-term agreement. It just gets renewed every, I think this one's 2 years or so. So my suggestion is to do that. I will fill out an issue sheet if I have to, so it's on the next committee of the whole, and we can deal with it then.
Cool, thank you. The PAW Community Renewal Corp.
Haven't had a meeting yet. There's one coming up. They're just trying to pick a date for it.
Okay. Library board.
We haven't met since, excuse me, last council, but the basement looks much better today than it did last week. It seems somebody did a really good job cleaning up on Friday down in there. Thank you. And Chris met me there this morning. We went down, and a local contractor, Mike Zielinski, was there as well, and kind of problem solved as to when a dig could possibly happen, and hopefully within a week or so find out the source of the leak.
Cool, good. Scan.
Again, we haven't had a meeting as of yet. We're planning a meeting fairly shortly.
Okay. Kelsey Planning District, we haven't had a meeting, but it's on our committee of the whole agenda tonight to talk about. KSD committee?
We haven't had a meeting, but there is some communication going on right now. Thanks to Sam, he had arranged some elevation readings, and it actually generated some discussion on some past history they had around the schools there. And the last, I believe Vaughn has got some information now back, and he's requesting a meeting, and I believe we're meeting on Thursday. Unfortunately, that doesn't conflicts with Larry, but that's kind of how we set it up.
Doesn't matter, I'll be there.
Oh.
All right, there's nothing, citizens period, anything at this point?
That's 3 citizens.
I know, yeah,
You guys have had all the chances in the world.
that's right.
As a matter of fact, I do have one question. It's about the traffic bylaw 2265. I'm just wondering, like, why is there talk about those signs being removed?
The discussion is about moving them. I don't think we're actually removing them, but we're going to move them.
I'll move them, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so, yeah, I noticed in the bylaw proposal, it said deleting the signs, so, yeah. If they move, like, where they go to, exactly.
Yeah, they're being moved, like.
It would be pushing them back, sorry, I'm just going to
That's-
jump
yeah,
in. What it is right now, there's a far stretch where there's no parking, so those signs are going to be moved so that there won't be that big stretch. There's no reason, we've discussed and looked through, there's no reason why there is no parking in that area. It was an old bylaw and times have changed and the need is different, so this bylaw will move the signage back to permit people to park in front of that establishment.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that it wasn't related to Amanda Laughlin requesting signage for schools and stuff.
No.
Oh, no.
I didn't think so, yeah, just because it says Laughlin and Settee there, so that was kind of misleading, so. For me, not,
That's cool.
I just thought I'd clarify that, thank you.
Okay. Good question.
Yes, no offense.
Pretty hard to offend us lately. I guess motion to adjourn. So moved.